Povestește-ne despre experiența ta de a crește în misiune externe.
M-am crescut în România, în Iași, și am fost acolo timp de 17 ani. Aveam câteva luni când familia s-a dus acolo și părinții mei, tatăl meu, a început un institut biblic. Până atunci nu a fost oportunități din felul acesta pentru români, pentru că în timpul comunistului nu era legal. Numai Biserica Ortodoxă a fost. That's where I ran out of my Romanian. Only the Orthodox Church was allowed at the time. So my parents started a Bible Institute. At the time they were with UFM, which is Unevangelized Fields Missions. It's now Crossworld. And so they were there for 17 years, and that's what they did. A lot of what they did, because it was more administrative and it was teaching, not really things that I could be involved in or my sisters, but throughout our time there, they gave us opportunities and they were intentional about making sure that we had chances to serve as well in different capacities. So I remember helping out with puppet ministry, working with kids, doing VBS stuff. We traveled quite a bit throughout Europe because we had other missionary connections. So we went to Milan at one point, helped out some missionaries with the VBS there. And they allowed us kids and encouraged us to be involved in that stuff. So even though their specific calling, their ministry wasn't something we could really be involved in, there were a lot of things that we were able to do. And it just kind of got us interested in missions and gave us, I think, as a family, a more global mindset that way, outside of our little bubble.
Tell us more about the Bible Institute and the impact it had in the areas there.
The idea behind the Bible Institute was training local leaders. And so it was everything from local pastors to people who were working in their local church to lead kids ministries. There were people who went out to the Gypsies who speak a whole different language, have a different culture. So there were people who came from that culture to Bible school, and they would learn how to teach, how to exposit God's word, and then they would go back to those villages. And these are places that didn't even have, they had Bibles, but they didn't have any sort of formal Bible training. So they were able to just get much higher quality of teaching and training that way through that school. So that was the idea. And it was the idea behind the school was it was a modular system. So it was made to where you didn't have to be a full-time student. They would do an intense week of 8, 10, 12-hour days. And we would have visiting professors come from the US or from other places. And during that week, we'd have students stay in Iași, often in our house, and they would learn and they would do their class, and they would have a test at the end of it, and then they would go back to pastoring their church. They would go back to their job or to being full-time students in the secular fields that they were working in. And they would just do that for years and years. We had students who would, after 4 years of doing that, they would finally get their certificate. We weren't even accredited at the time. So, these people were just doing this out of, a desire to serve the Lord. They weren't getting a paper out of it that meant anything. It was just training. But they were so hungry for God's word because there was nothing else like that before then.